Hi everyone, welcome to the Killingly Public Library. Today we'll learn about propagating plants, which is making new plants from old plants. There's many ways to propagate plants, but we're going to do the simplest one today, which is stem cuttings. It's just what it sounds like. You cut off a stem, make a new plant. This is a little geranium. I bought the original geranium plant that this has been cloned from 3 years ago. So I had one plant 3 years ago. The second year, I made 5 plants out of my one plant. Then the third year, I made 11, and today I have 26 plants from my first mother plant. So, what we're going to do is check the plant out and find one of the longer stems that I think needs to be trimmed anyway. I'm going to trim it right above a leaf. So this still looks good, and it'll get more growth in the middle where I trimmed it. I will take off the bottom leaves. And I'll pinch out the growing tip so it'll grow bushy instead of straight up and down. Take my handy chopstick into the potting soil, just regular potting soil. In it goes. And water. Put it in a bright place for a week or two, and then maybe you can move it into the sunshine. And this will grow huge this summer and have lots of nice flowers. What else do we have? This is a purple heart plant that we have at the library. One of our patrons brought us a couple of cuttings a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago. Tiny little, sad looking things in a wet paper towel. And this thing just keeps growing and growing and growing. It's amazing. The way we propagate this stem cutting is basically the same. Cut it off, strip off the lower leaves. I'm hoping that roots will grow out from where those leaves were. I have a pot here with the soil in it. I'm going to put a few in here. Oops, broke off, that's okay. Stick it in deeper. This is a good way to keep your mother plant in control too. And you may have some failures when you're doing your repotting, your propagation, but that's okay. How many plants, house plants do you really need? It's all an experiment. These are a few that I started about a month ago. They're getting really big already. Also, we have some pothos here that we propagated. So that's the easiest way to do stem cuttings. There's another way too. Take your stem cutting, then put it into water. Wait until some roots grow, and then plant it into your pot. So I have some of them here. Here's some from our pothos plant. About a month ago, I put them in this water. See all the nice roots? Let me think, what should I put this in? How about this one? When they have the roots on them already, you can't poke the hole in the soil and just put them in there. Just put a little soil in the bottom of the pot. put your plants in, put your stems in there, and then fill up the rest with soil. I think this might be a better method for the pothos, letting the roots grow in water, because these don't look, they'll be okay, but they don't look nice and shiny and bright. They'll come back. And add some water. And we made another plant. This one's a little different. This is from our beefsteak begonia, and that grows from rhizomes, which are like ginger root that you get at the grocery store. It's kind of an underground, thick, fleshy stem. But I had it in the water. It fell off the mother plant. It's got some nice little roots on there, so I'm going to pot this one up too. The thing with the rhizome plants is that the rhizome grows right along the surface of the soil or right below it. So I'm going to put the soil in the bottom, put that there, and I'll just lightly cover up the top of it. This will make a nice plant. It's really healthy now. Lots of new growth down in here. Okay, and the last ones I wanted to show you were succulents, which are a little different. This is one of our jade plants. It's getting a little top heavy, so I'm going to cut off the tops. That would be a good place. Yep, see, it's got some growing out the side right there, like this. That. I'm just going to take a little bit off of this one. This plant will thank me for this, believe it. So with the succulents, you don't plant them right away after you take them off the mother plant. Break off a couple of the lower leaves, or you can use the scissors. I'm hoping that roots will come from where these leaves were growing. I'll work on this one later. But I do have one that I cut off last week. And this one has formed a callus on the bottom. It just got dried up. And that'll be a better way to plant this type of plant. If you put it in while it was still fresh and wet, it might rot. Here we go. I put this into my special potting mix, which is part perlite, my favorite airy additive, and regular potting soil. Maybe 1:1 or 2:1, because this succulent doesn't need as much water. It needs a little bit more airiness. Once this starts to grow, I'll pinch out the growing tip to make it branch out. This is a little plant that I started a while back from our Christmas cactus. Same thing, take off a little piece, let it rest for a couple of days, and then just stick it in there. Can't believe how easy this is. So I think that's it. We have a couple of really nice plant propagation books here at the library. Go into great detail, lots of nice tips. This one has got a lot of houseplants in it. This one I think has houseplants as well as garden plants. So that's the Lazy Woman's Guide to Plant Propagation. I hope you had fun. Thank you.